So I've done a best flagships video, a best mid-range video, a best budget phones video, but I've not done a best cheap phones video. Now you may ask yourself, what's the difference between a budget device and a cheap device? To many of us, it's common to see phones of up to $70 or even $50, and many people around us use them. They don't have all the extra stuff and basically they're used to call, text, and maybe play those small relaxing games that are not that heavy. The likes of Ludo and those puzzles here. These phones are not that common in, let's say, European countries or America or something, but they are common here in Africa, some parts of Asia maybe too. And I'll explain why in a video to come the next few days. Anyways, without further delay, let's get to the video. And I leave timestamps if you want to skip to a particular phone that you want me to talk about. What's up guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a nice day. I'm Milan and welcome back to Fuzitech. And I know it's been a long time since I posted my last video, but I'm back. And I'm not going to waste any moments but immediately head to the phones. And the first phone on my list is the Nokia C01 Plus. Now you should not confuse this with the Nokia C1 Plus, of which I did a review on it a couple of months ago and the link is down here. Anyways, with the Nokia C01 Plus, it's almost identical to the C1 Plus. As a matter of fact, it's identical. The design is it's also the same, aside from it being slightly thicker, and it has an IPS LCD display which is a 5.45 inch one and a resolution of 720 by 1440 pixels. It has Android 11 Go edition, which is stock and is powered by a 28nm Unisoc chipset. You shouldn't really argue about this since it's very cheap and it's not like you're paying to use it to play PUBG or something. The camera system is a 5-megapixel front and back duo that both have flash and record up to 720 pixels at 30 fps. It comes with Bluetooth 4.2, a 3000 mAh removable battery, micro USB, and obviously a headphone jack. It comes with two variants, a blue and a purple one. So basically this phone is the Nokia C1 Plus with a slightly bigger battery, Android 11, and it's a little bit heavier. It comes at around $83 and it's just a slight upgrade to the Nokia C1 Plus. Next one you have the Realme C11 2021. It's not the same one from last year, hence the name 2021. Design wise, it has a plastic body all round with a nice texture at the back. Now remember the other Realme phones from this year, such as the Realme 8 and the massive Dare to Leap logo at the back. So this one also has a massive logo, but instead of the Dare to Leap branding, it's just written Realme. The display is an IPS LCD screen which is 6.52 inches, which is really large compared to the other phones of its price point. To be fair, all Realme phones are usually this large, and it also has a water drop notch at the front. It has Android 11 and Realme Go UI, which I'm not even sure what it means, but I think it will come with Android Go too. Now I'm pretty sure it will not be upgraded to Android 12 because it's an entry-level device. Then again, the target market doesn't really care for updates, to be honest. The main and selfie cameras are 8-megapixel and 5-megapixel respectively, and they both record at 1080 pixels at 30 fps. It only has one memory and storage option, 2GB RAM and 32GB ROM. Other features are Bluetooth 4.2, a 5000 mAh battery, a 10-watt charger, and surprisingly, reverse charging. You can get it at $94, so it's not that bad technically. Third phone on the list is the Nokia C10, which was released just a few days ago despite being announced way back in April. It has a plastic back and a frame with a nice textured back, and the design is quite similar to most Nokia phones released this year, with that rounded camera appearance. At the front, it comes with an IPS LCD screen, 720 by 1600 pixels resolution to be particular, a large 6.52 inch screen, and is protected by Panda glass. It also has thick bezels at the front and has a water drop notch that houses the single selfie camera. It comes with Android 11 Go edition, which to be honest I've never liked. Although it's stock and sort of clean, it comes with a lot of limited features due to its function. I think that's how it works. Yes. Anyways, it's powered by a 28nm Unisoc processor, which is not that impressive. The RAM and storage options vary between 1GB to 2GB of RAM and 16GB and 32GB of ROM. Both the main and selfie cameras are 5 megapixel and it takes up to 720p video recording. Generally, these cameras are terrible, but this isn't a camera phone. It also has a Bluetooth 4.2 and a 3000 mAh removable battery. Looking at this and comparing it to the Nokia C01 Plus, there are very many similarities that outweigh the differences. Anyways, it comes at $94 too. Moving on, we have another Nokia phone, the Nokia C20 Plus. This one is supposed to be a slight upgrade to the Nokia C20, but the features are almost the same, and that's why I didn't include the C20 here, because it's basically the same thing. So the design is just like the Nokia C10, and the display is also an LCD one, 720 by 1600 pixels to be particular, and it's 6.5 inches. So the features of this phone are just like the one from the C10, and the only difference is the camera system, which is a dual one at the back, 8 megapixel main and 2 megapixel depth. Another difference is this one only comes at 3GB and 32GB ROM, and it has a 4950 mAh removable battery. Aside from that, everything is the same. Everything else is the same. It's slightly more expensive as it comes at $106. Next one, we have the Realme C21, and so far, if you have noticed, we still don't have any Samsung phones. This is basically because the best Samsung phones at this low price are from last year. Anyways, with the Realme C21, it has a plastic body with a really good design. The plastic back looks really amazing, and it actually has a small Realme branding at the back, unlike other Realme phones. The display is the usual 6.5 inches from Realme and 720 by 1600 pixel resolution and an LCD screen. Again, this one has a teardrop notch at the front, so basically with the design and the display, it's not any different from the other phones. But now with the processor, it comes with the 12nm MediaTek Helio G35 processor, which is absolutely better than all the Unisoc processors that we have been having. The main disappointment here is it still comes with Android 10 and Realme UI 1, and yet it was released in March this year, so it's supposed to be Android 11 and Realme UI 2.0 because Realme UI 2.0 is almost a year old. Now with the camera, it has a triple camera system at the back, a 13 megapixel primary lens, 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel depth sensors. At the front, it has a 5 megapixel selfie camera. This whole camera system is exactly the same with last year's Realme C3, which I used to own, then I got robbed sadly. It comes with two variants, a 3 and 32GB one and a 4 and 64GB variant. It also has Bluetooth 5.0, a 10-watt charger and reverse charging from its huge 5000 mAh battery, and it's priced as $120. Next one, we have Tecno's very own Tecno Spark 7P. It's almost the same with Tecno Spark 7, and so I decided to pick this one. But if it were a longer list, both phones would fit. Anyways, this phone is quite large and it's quite chunky. It's 9.2mm thick and has a large 6.8-inch display. It's an LCD one, but it has the fast 90Hz screen refresh rate. I think this is the cheapest phone with the 90Hz screen refresh rate, and soon 90Hz will be something common with most, if not all, budget phones. It has iOS 7.5, which is amongst the heaviest UIs in Android, and also it has Android 11. I'm pretty sure there won't be an upgrade, but it's an entry-level phone, so you shouldn't complain that much. It's powered by the MediaTek Helio G70 processor, which is amazing for gaming, and at these low prices, as it can handle even COD Mobile and PUBG, although it won't max out the refresh rate and resolution. It has a triple camera at the back, headlined with the main 16 megapixel lens, and at the front it has an 8 megapixel selfie camera. It comes with two variants, a 4GB and 64GB ROM, and a 4GB and 128GB ROM. This one has an unremovable 5000 mAh battery and a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor, and it's priced at about $130. Last one on the list is the Realme C25S. This one is really thick, almost 10mm thick, and that is due to its large battery. It has a plastic back with a nice texture and a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor that is flush with a plastic back cover. The display is an LCD one, 720 pixels and 6.5 inches. It has two storage variants, a 4GB RAM and 64GB ROM, and a 4GB RAM and 128GB ROM. It also has Android 11 and Realme UI 2.0. Now looking at this phone, the phone is exactly like the Realme C25, and the only difference is the processor. The C25 comes with MediaTek Helio G70, and this one comes with Helio G85, which is supposedly better. Anyways, other specs are just the same with the Realme C25. From the quad camera at the back, 48 megapixel main, 13 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro and 2 megapixel depth sensor, and an 8 megapixel selfie camera. It also has Bluetooth 5.0 and USB Type-C port, the only one in this list by the way, and a really large 6000 mAh battery that explains the thick size. The battery is powered by an 18-watt fast charger, which is really great for a cheap phone. It comes with two color variants, water blue and water gray. The price of this one is around $140 and it borders on being more of a budget phone than a cheap phone. But it's the best on this list, as you can see from with yourself. Yeah. So that's my list, and there are many phones that I would have included here that I didn't. And if you feel like there's a better one that should have replaced another, leave it at the comments down below and let's discuss it. Anyways, that's all for today. I'm Milan and this is Fuzitech. For all new viewers, welcome here, and I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel for more of them like this. I hope you have a fantastic day and see you next time. Peace.